Okay, so hopefully this is working. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse or not. Hopefully you can. But real quick, I'm gonna run through a couple of these plays. So this is the play that we kind of been doing. I put the numbers of so the snake front snake is one, back snake two, homes three, back three to four, front three to five. So you can see all these little bubbles with the numbers. That's just where your shots are. I know it's a little chaotic, but you kind of just pay attention to your number and maybe your back player as well. Um, so starting over on the snake side, I like when we've been going snake off break. I think that's the best risk versus reward type thing than risking a body Dorito side. So um, obviously, you get into that snake, you have the route where you can go around and in or to the corner and in. We have those two different routes, so pick your poison. Um, from there, remember you always have those two free shots on the Seattle one here and the Delta one here, the two towers. Again, I hope you can see my cursor. If not, I will try to explain as best as I can. And then, but remember, you can also slow play it, or not slow play it, but play sneaky, and you don't have to take your shots. You can try to crawl right into the 50, and then from there, try to listen and react. If there is not a snake call, I would like immediately look to wrap this thing, and you have those shots still on the Delta one. You have the cross shot on the 100 potentially if he's playing big. Um, and then you can duck and crawl to the next one, um, and wrap and go and just finish the point from there. The two, I want them off the break, just shooting that Dorito side and then filling over into the God. From the God, I want you switching back and forth, but because the three is going to be playing the Seattle one, watching the D side, so you don't have to stay committed. And from the God, you can stop the inside push in the snake. Um, just you have to again communicate if there is a snake. So either I at the home or our D side back can pop the outside of the snake. Um, and then from there, I want you to follow him in the snake. I wouldn't get in the snake until he's past snake two in the 50, because you can stop here and you can watch D side, or you can get to here and watch his tape for him. You choose what you want to do there, work together. Um, Me playing the home, I'm gonna try Dom's shot that he's been shooting. If I can get that shot dialed in, I'll shoot the D side runner. If not, I'm going to stick to what I know works over here, shooting the snake runner, going to the God. Um, and then my job is to basically fill either up to the Seattle, which is most of the time is what I'm doing, and then looking cross. Um, and then from there, working my way up to Seattle too, and so forth. If I go out to the Seattle side, like the snake side, I will be looking cross holding the Doritos. The reason it's an option is if we decide that we want to capitalize on either they have a weak D side or we lose our front D guy, or whatever the case may be, and Aaron or whoever's playing the spot wants to move out into the Doritos, then I can fill the D side tower. But it's probably most of the time going to be filling the Seattle one, because from there I can stop the whole D push, where the D side tower and the D side wing can only really stop if they haven't gone in the snake yet. Um, so just to keep that in mind. But the back D side player off the break should every single time if we're playing these two cans should be looking cross. You shouldn't be playing them heads up. You basically shooting the gap from the two into the God and then the God into the snake. Um, if it's ice the God, then I want you shooting here, stopping the God from going. If it's ice the two, then you should basically shoot this gap to not let the two in. And if it's say they have a snake, but the next furthest body is the two, then it should be this gap as well. Because you don't have a shot into the snake anyways, but you can stop the back player from being able to support his front player. And then obviously filling up to the delta 1, shooting the same exact gaps, and then filling up to the delta 2, shooting this gap here. And then obviously closing the point, you can play it however, either filling this way, wrapping and going this way, shooting for the tower, you know, so on and so forth. And then the 5, not guns up, should be getting here. Their first shot should be heads up. If they have the dominance, keep the dominance. And then every bump you have to watch for the tower, the Seattle one. If you're not feeling paint come through, then just wrap it real quick, throw some paint towards there, and then go. But if you get here and say your mirror has the shot on you first, then I want you posted inside shooting basically the same gaps that your back player is, but mainly focus on the god, not filling. And then, just playing a normal point from there. Let's see. How do I, oops. On to the next play. These aren't in any particular order. It's just how I sent them. Okay, this was kind of our defensive push or defensive play that we were doing. So the front snake would be stopping at the god, and the front Dorito would be stopping at the 100 like normal. Both of them mainly looking cross. Don't shoot heads up off the break. The one will be shooting for if anybody goes further than this, basically, because you can also sneak paint in through here to the 100. So if they're only at the 100, fine. But this is your main gap afterwards. I think I might have that wrong, but you'll see when it's on you're shooting Doritos. Both the 1 and the 5 have the ball in their court. So if we get a kill or two off the rip or pretty early on, you guys should be immediately filling off of that. D side just has to be more cautious because obviously you have those inside shots on you. Same goes with every position though. Once we get kill 2, kill 1, kill 2, we should be reacting off of that immediately, moving to the next bunker. But if say it's a long point and it's going on for a while and we're just kind of sitting, if nothing is stopping the 1 and 5 from going, then let's go back and kind of play it like play 1 that we just went over. So obviously the 2 and the 4 are doing the same jobs, shooting those same gaps, and then probably following your guys. But it's very read and react. Like if the front Dorito is fine, there's not a lot of pressure on him, he's doing his thing, then whoever's playing the back D side can probably fill up the middle. The snake back should probably follow the front snake player unless the snake is completely dead. Just because his job as the front is to go eventually get their snake out, and so you would take his position if they trade. And then I obviously from the home will be filling the middle. So this one's kind of self-explanatory, easy. It's just we gotta stay on our lanes, and so these are the lanes. Obviously, the home watches both 50s. The god can watch the 50 D side. The 5 can watch the 50 snake side as well. And then the 2 and 4 holding them from filling into the Doritos or into the snake, and so on and so forth. And then the 1 and the 5 are also kind of responsible for the middle push too. So, because you're the widest bodies. But anyways, on to the next one. This one I just kind of threw together. I want to try it. It's just a D side push instead of our snake side push. We've kind of done it already. It does work. I think our snake side push works better. So, but this can be a change up, so if they're gunning for us, pushing the snake, we can push the other side, kind of like Havoc does. But anyways, so the 1 would be doing the same thing we just talked about. The difference here is I want the back snake player to immediately basically run out to the can and then up to the Seattle 1, shooting cross the whole time to really lock those Doritos in to make sure that our push actually is worthwhile. And then And that's why, because we're still playing the snake, we don't need you playing at the can. Um, Me from the home, I'm gonna basically shoot my lanes and then fill the D side tower and lock the snake. Um, and then the back D side guy I want to follow in the Doritos. So you'd be shooting the same cross that we shoot every time to the can, but making a quick bump into the 100 since the front player is skipping over the 100. And obviously we have the different routes. We have up to the Delta One and across. We have all the way around. You can go straight through. I don't know if we've tried straight through, but that's, just as fast. So um, again, pick your poison with that one. Um, but once you get there, if you're getting a lot of heat on the edge of your bunker, then you can look inside. If that Seattle one is just stopping you from going, stand up tall and take a shot over at him. But obviously, if you're getting a lot of heat, then just stay here and shoot into the snake, basically. Um, and then, yeah, and then from there, it's a normal point, plays exactly the same as every other play. Um, On to the next one. This one is a little different. I gotta look at this one on paper real quick just so I can see what I was doing with this one. So this one's a little different. It's kind of slow playing and kind of a center push. Um, Not slow playing, but slow playing getting into the snake and getting into the Doritos. It's more of a middle push trying to catch people slipping. Um, so again, God's doing the same thing. God's doing every time. The difference is you're basically protecting the guys up the middle because you have the best shot through here. So if people try to, come bunker this way or try to come, it's basically once they get past the 9 and the 11, you have the shot on them. Um, and then it's kind of similar for the D side. You're stopping the snake, but since you're already shooting this way through here, hopefully you can see my cursor. You're stopping any, push this way. So you're defending the middle basically as the one on the D side and the snake side. Um, so the back snake side player would be coming out, running and gunning, shooting the cross into the Doritos all the way up. And I don't really want you to stop here. It's kind of like a pause, wrap, and just shoot at the Delta One and then immediately fill to here. And then again, wrapping and shooting for the Delta One and then coming across. Um, Obviously, you can only play as fast as, you're comfortable with and as much as they're giving you. Like, I don't want you getting to the 9 if you basically they've seen you this entire time and they're in the snake, but this is just kind of the idea is, hopefully I know we probably won't catch anybody running and gunning off the break, but the idea is to catch the 2 and the 4 slipping, playing big. And so wrapping this quick and trying to get a shot on him since he's trying to stop the snake push, you're kind of giving him a little surprise that the middle is shooting at him and making his life hard. And that's where, as the god, while he's doing that, if he pushes in that, once he gets up to the Seattle 2, if he's putting a lot of pressure on that 2 and it takes the Seattle, the Delta 1, sorry. Once he's putting pressure on this guy from the Seattle 2, that's like your free ticket to go as long as nothing else is shooting at you, right? Because he's going to push this guy in, so then you can launch. And then because from there you don't really have to watch the middle anymore because he's already kind of up here, and can kind of watch it himself. It's more of you're watching the middle, so if he gets stuck at the Seattle, gets stuck at the Delta, nobody can just run through on him. But then me as the home, I'm going to be shooting heads up off the break just so the home player can't fucking shoot at either of our runners. And then obviously I'll play it normal. I'll probably fill either the back snake or the back Dorito, depending what goes on. The back D side player is kind of doing the same exact thing. You're running close to the can, shooting cross for the snake side runner. And then same thing, you're trying to wrap it here, shoot the Seattle 1 in the face, and then on to the next one, put more pressure on him here, because even if you don't shoot him rounding the tower, you're pushing him in, so he's, you know, so then by the time you pop out at Delta 2, he still thinks you're at the fucking Delta 1. So hopefully he'll be big and you can shoot him. And then from there, filling the 11 and then, playing it like a point from there. The Dorito guy, it's the same thing. You're shooting the inside. And once he takes that pressure off of you from the 4, that's like your free ticket to launch. So it should be kind of a fluid thing where once they start getting to the Delta and the Seattle, since you have eyes on them anyways, you should be taking that as your opportunity to wrap and go. And so that's kind of a way that I feel like we can work as a team together, where these two guys will take the pressure off of the sides and we can go. And so maybe this play won't work as a whole, but if we try this at practice and it does help take the pressure off our guys slow playing the 100 and the God, maybe we can use that in a different play as a audible to get so we can slow play the snake but still get in the snake easy. So we'll play with that around a little bit. On the next one, these last two I think are push plays. So this is last second. Hopefully we don't have to use this play, but this is just the best case scenario I could find for, if we need a quick point in seconds or the last few seconds of the game. So the snake runner, I want to dive into snake 2 and immediately crawl to the W. Depending how much time we have, you don't have to get up and wrap it right away, but I mean that's kind of the idea. And you'd be basically shooting for the home player and whatever else you can shoot. So probably the Delta 1 and maybe the 100 as well. Sorry. The back snake player is kind of doing what we just talked about, but a little wider. So you're kind of coming out even wider, so you're not hugging the bunker. You can, it's just, I thought the shot would be easier if you play out wider, and you're using the brick to block heads up shots anyways. So you're living behind your gun, try to shoot the Delta, try to shoot the 100. And then once you get here, obviously wrapping, if you haven't shot either of these guys yet, then you have, the shots on them. And then if there's a guy here, you can bunker him out. And that's all depending on where these guys are shooting. Because if they have a can here, he will be stopping you, so you can't go past this. So that's where you might just take the pressure, have the guy in the snake, shoot at him and whatnot. Or go on the inside and, close the point. Whatever happens. Me at the home, I would probably shoot off the break for a couple seconds and then launch, shooting the cross, shooting the cross, shooting the cross, trying to get, lucky on the God player, using these to kind of cut through the middle a little bit. I can also go out this way, try to shoot the guys wide this way, but obviously we'll see. The back Dorito player is going to come out wide, shooting cross the entire time, but kind of running and gunning, maybe stopping here to shoot cross at the God, cross at the can, coming to the next one, shooting cross, shooting cross, shooting cross. And you're just kind of guns up following. And the front D player is coming all the way up and across like that. Using the tower and then the Delta 2 to block you out and dive across. And then wrapping every time. Your first shot should be the Dorito can, then the Dorito to tower, then the home, then the snakes I can, and then the God, and so on and so forth. But that's just, that's kind of, there's no good way to know if that's going to work. It just either happens or it doesn't. There's no sure thing with that one. And then, oops, sorry. And the last one is the push play, which is different from the last second. This is if we just want to put the pedal to the metal real quick. Like say we played a defensive point, we won a defensive point, or even lost it, whatever, and we just want to push, then this is the play. So it would be the snake 2 off the break, the 300 off the break. Obviously, I don't need to repeat how to play those. The back snake player, I do want to shoot the cross for literally seconds and then launch to the god and then shooting heads up, wrap and shoot inside and then fill the snake. Um, I would be basically shooting heads up for the um, snake guy and then rushing to the tower, rushing to the Seattle 2, and then so on and so forth. This is where the back D player kind of has the ball in their court a little bit. I want them to come out shooting the cross, and then from there, either filling up and pushing that way or following the Dorito or filling the Dorito if the Dorito died off the break. Um, I don't feel like I need to repeat myself. The shots are all the same for every play, basically. We know how the field plays, so it's just a matter of what our primary bunkers are and then how we're pushing to finish the point. That's really where the difference comes. And we can take aspects from any of these plays and change it, have variations to it. Um, like I said, we can take the center push and take part of that and put it into our play one or put it into this push play, whatever the case may be. Um, so yeah, that's basically all I got. If you have any other ideas, share them in the chat, and I will see you guys tomorrow.